Do you know what these things are? Anyone know what these things are? Do you cut them out or do you leave them in? These are the shoulder pads. And I know it's like a love-hate relationship. I know most people hate these things and most people say, I would never be caught wearing them. But believe it or not, they serve a very important purpose. Once you find out what that purpose is, I can promise you, you are going to be wearing shoulder pads. Hi, my name is Tracy Pullman with Tracy with Style. And what I do is I help women figure out what to wear each day using the current clothes that they have, so they can feel good about the way they look and they can stand out amongst their competition. So shoulder pads, they've actually been around for a very long time. They first came out in the 1930s, I think with the whole like football pads and things like that. They came out with these, don't ask me why, and came out with them for women. But in the 80s, that's when they became very popular. The huge hair, the broad shoulders, those things were the rage, if you remember, in the 80s. And women started wearing these shoulder pads so they could actually fit in with the bold man's world. Men were wearing suits and they wanted to fit in shoulder to shoulder with the men, right? And so that's why they started wearing these. I thought it was very interesting because I thought maybe it was like for fashion purposes that they were wearing these, but actually it does have a fashion purpose. So shoulder pads, what they do is they square off your sloping shoulders. So right now my shoulders are sloping, and let me show you how to put them in. You want to wear the thicker part at the end of your shoulder. So let me put one in here and let me kind of move my hair back so you can see. As you can see here, let me move it in the right spot. I feel like there we go. So as you can see here, my shoulder is much broader than on this side. This side, it's sloping, okay? This side, it's much broader. The thing is, when your shoulders are broader, your hips are slightly broader, okay? Or slightly wider, which is not always a bad thing. You might be saying, I don't want my hips bigger. But what happens is when your shoulders are bigger and your hips are bigger, your waist is smaller. So who does not want a smaller waist? Actually, the hourglass figure is the ideal body shape. And these shoulder pads help you achieve that hourglass body shape. Because no matter what your body shape is, you always want to try to mimic the hourglass body shape because that is the ideal, with broad shoulders, little broad hip, and a small little waist. Kind of like Barbie, right? You probably remember Barbie. That's the way she was, but she was very unrealistic to the way women truly are, but I digress there. So the other thing is, some of you might be saying, you know what, Tracy, I really don't care if these shoulders are sloped. Well, what happens when your shoulders are sloping, it actually makes the rest of your body wider. Do you want the rest of your body to be wider? I know for me, I don't want the rest of my body to be wider. So that's why I want to make sure that I wear some shoulder pads, okay? Because it's going to make that waist appear smaller rather than the rest of my body appear wider. So also, shoulder pads give you the appearance of authority and confidence. It's kind of like when your shoulders are back, right? And you're walking, it makes you feel confident, or you look confident when you're wearing it that way, correct? So that's one of the nice things about it too. Now, I understand why you hate these shoulder pads. I mean, let's face it, what would happen is these things were usually tied up into the actual cloth of the jacket or whatever you might be wearing. And every time you laundered it, it like came out in a little ball, and then your shoulders, like you had little lumps sticking all over the place. It was awful, wasn't it? Well, you were right in saying, I don't like these things. But I love these because they're not too big. They can be removed, which are very nice. So you can remove them before you wash your garments. And they can go under all different types of fabrics. So like here, I'm wearing it under a sweater. You could wear it under jackets, tops, anything that you want where you want to square off your shoulders. You can put these things underneath that. So, and you can get these at Amazon. So did you like this tip? Hopefully you liked it. Well, I have 6 other slimming tips to share with you. Actually, I just created a video and it's how to appear 10 to 20 pounds thinner without actually losing weight. And you could do all of this in under 5 minutes. I'm sure you're like, oh my gosh, I want to know those tips, especially right now with the holidays, right? And this is going to allow you to go eat whatever you want and you can still look skinny. So excited about that for you. So I'll post the link below. So if you want to click on that link, you can get all of the tips, watch the video, get all of the tips. I would love to know what you thought about some of these tips and which ones you're implementing. Gosh, if you could take a picture, that would be awesome. If you want to post it in my Facebook group, there is a link that you can join that if you're not part of it. I would love to see pictures of everybody looking slimmer with all of these tips this holiday season. So whether or not you're going to be at home or you're going to be out and about with family and friends and that type of stuff, love to see you looking festive and cute during the holiday season. So thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate it.